Hello guys and welcome back to Book of Unwritten Tales. And I have to say I've been dying to play this again. I really have. It is now, the next day. No, I did not want to, actually get going yet. In a minute. Um yeah, it's just, it's just the day after and I've really struggled to not just play ahead, but yeah, I'm really curious where this is all gonna go, and I just thought I'd let you know because I really have. It's not many games do that to me where I'm just like, oh, I gotta record more. It's way late in the I'd say evening, but it's night honestly. But yeah, I just need to. I need to play this. So yeah, let's get going. Let's go look at everything.
There's a stone in the undergrowth. There's something written on it, but I can't see what it is. That could be a little gravestone.
Gravestone. Well, free it then, apparently.
I can't remove the undergrowth with my bare hands. It's very dense and has thorns.
She has no inventory. Nothing carried over.
A tatty-wonky scarecrow. Its clothing has been nibbled by mice, but the hat has something about it. A scarecrow that doesn't even scare Cheep Cheep is clearly of no use whatsoever.
Oh no, can we speak with Cheep Cheep? We can. Well, I guess we might as well, right? Because that dialogue before seemed alright, so...
Do you have any idea which artifact could be so powerful that it could make someone into the ruler of the world? No, that's been lost to the depths of the ocean. No, that's been thrown back into the same fire that was used to forge it. No, I haven't got a clue. It must be something that no one bargained for. Something that no one has ever looked for. It'll be in the Gremlins book. If only I had it already.
Was that an Atlantis and Lord of the Rings reference? That's what comes to mind to me, Lost in the Ocean. Nothing else comes to mind, so obviously for that, I'm very curious because I'm sure I'm missing something obvious as well, but yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think or what they could be referring to, because this game seems to make a lot of referrals to stuff, and I feel like I must be missing a bunch.
Why is that scarecrow not scaring you?
Because it's a scarecrow.
Yes, certainly. And how? Normally you're the first to take flight. Good luck, little one, and don't get up to any mischief.
Okay. Watering can. Seems like that's a
An
takeable
old watering
item.
can made out of metal. It's small even by gremlin standards.
Doesn't seem that small though, but okay.
An upturned flower pot made of clay. There's a stone under it. That could be a firestone. That's coming with me. Presumably the professor wanted to prevent the stone getting wet.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, why? How do you know it's a firestone or could be a firestone? But then I went, oh yeah, right, because it's under a pot, so there's a specific reason for that. So
A pile of logs. There is no way that MacGuffin will get through the winter with such a small amount, not even autumn.
it really isn't much. That is very true.
3 should be enough.
I'm curious why three, but
A large brick fireplace. The fire grates on the outside, not inside the house. That's a bit unusual, but it does make sense if the professor doesn't wish to have an open fire inside.
it does make sense. It just kind of sucks in winter.
A daring structure, and just like the whole house, pretty wonky. Doesn't look as if it'll last long.
But it probably has, right? So, some metal frame. So clearly we're going to be putting something in, or clearly, I'm just guessing, we're going to be putting something in a water hole crate, in a water can, I'm sorry. And then, you know, hang that on the metal frame, then create a fire with kindling and a firestone. Could be heating something up in it, but we'll see.
I'd say this is a pretty basic millstone. Grain is tipped into the hole above, and you then turn the upper stone. The flour then comes out of the side. I'd say this is a pretty basic. The flour.
Yep, repeating. Just checking.
Strange. Someone's fitted a wooden shutter in front of the little window. Looks like the shutter can be opened. It's pretty high up. Strange. Looks like the
Crank? Does that open the window, perhaps? No, wait, that's the well. I thought it was more in the background.
That was suspiciously easy.
You're still doing it, though.
The rope is broken and the bucket's probably at the bottom of the well where it's of no use to anyone.
Great.
The rope is broken.
Okay, so maybe attach the wiring can, grab water.
That should hold. Let's give it a whirl.
Oh good, I don't have to actually click again. How nice.
It worked. This means that I have a gremlin watering can full of water.
Probably just what you want.
The groundwater is only a few meters down in this region. Presumably the well isn't very deep.
You could just look in it. I mean, it is daylight, you should be able to see, right? Well, let's go in and see what all this stuff is for. Familiar scene this, or area. Come on, look at the chaos.
Typical bachelor. Everything in a mess. Plates, pots, cups, covered with a sticky mixture of dust and fat. Dead flies. Ugh, yuck. I'm definitely not tidying up here. Why hasn't the gremlin's companion sorted this out?
Oh, that's the box?
What's that? A box with some kind of glass eye. It seems to be hanging directly in front of the gable window. I haven't got a clue what it's for.
Well, that's what the other thing is blocking, right? So, or the little wooden plank that's covering the hole. I'm not sure what the gable is, or I've never heard of that word.
What's that? A box with some kind... I haven't got a clue.
Yep, me either.
A wooden tub, about half full of water. Oh, great. This has the professor's washing floating around in it. White shirts, grey socks, red underpants. A wooden tub, about half full of water. Oh, great.
Also repeating. Small shield? Is that what it said?
A small old-fashioned shield. The inside is highly polished.
Probably not used as a shield, then, is it? I'm getting a very reflect light puzzle feeling from this. I don't know why.
The back of the fireplace. When MacGuffin wanted to heat his food up, he just needed to put it into one of those little stoves.
Oh, yeah, that works very nicely, actually. It's pretty good. Let's look at the little things in here.
Would appear to be a mirror frame. There are still a few broken shards of the old mirror around the edges. The mirror's turned so it reflects the fireplace. Strange.
Yep. I seem to have been right.
Would appear to be a mirror frame.
Yep.
The mirror's
Yep.
a carpenter's cup. It looks old. Not really worth a closer look.
You sure? Yeah, she's sure.
Looks like the base for a statue. It's made out of stone and it's covered with strange characters. There's a six-sided indentation on the base. Perhaps the mounting for a statue.
Six-sided.
There's a six-sided indentation.
Alright, I'll remember that. Wooden box.
A stone casket placed in a wooden box. The box looks very cheap. It could be one of those storage containers. The stone chest is decorated with 2 angels and has writing on it too. I can't read it. What's likely to happen, eh? Sand. Is it me? Or has it just got much warmer in here?
Oh, now that is
The
hinting.
chest is filled to the brim with fine sand. I haven't got a clue what else might be in there. I can hardly sift my way through the sand with my hand.
You can't? Well, I get the feeling I have to pour water on it, but I really don't know why, but it also seems to be incorrect, so that's probably good.
The chest is filled to the brim with fine sand. I can hardly sift.
You can't sift your hand through it? I don't... Alright.
A standard jelly glowfish. They're everywhere around here. This one here isn't glowing anymore, and won't ever again. Jelly glowfish are really quite frugal animals. They need water and a little bit of food every now and then. I guess this one lacked the latter.
Poor guy. Girl. Thing.
Looks like a very ancient sarcophagus. Oh, strange. There are hinges on it, just like a door.
Well, then open it.
Shame. Just a stinky mummy.
Which blinks?
What have we here?
What are you doing, Mortimer?
What the... Did you just speak? You speak?
Me? No.
Well, yes you do, quite obviously.
What is obvious?
That you can and do speak.
But of course.
But you just said that you didn't.
Why are you being so strange, Mortimer?
I'm not Mortimer.
Where is Mortimer?
You mean MacGuffin, the gremlin archaeologist who lives here, yes?
What?
Mortimer.
Yes?
You're called Mortimer?
No, of course not.
I think we're finished with this conversation.
I think you are slowly losing your marbles, Mortimer.
I'm sorry, what? And then you lock...
Presumably the sarcophagus lacks oxygen.
So you lock him in again? How's that going to help him? Or us, for that matter? What the crap? That just seems cruel. That really does seem cruel. Apparently, we're still in a cutscene. But I can just skip it.
I think these are all the things that the professor uses on his digs. A brush, a little shovel, a sieve.
A sieve? Alright, I'll try and remember how to pronounce that.
I'll take the sieve. The rest looks pretty useless.
Oh, we know where to use that, right, so...
Books, books, and more books. Most are ancient tomes. They appear to be written in just about every language. The book that MacGuffin told me about is hidden in the cellar. These books aren't of interest.
Just making sure.
A dragon's skull. It could have been a horntail, nasty creatures, but there are very few around these days. The last of them are now working almost exclusively as beasts of burden. They've not just lost their viciousness, they've lost their pride too.
Seems like it. So that's the book that he was writing in. There's more Dragon Skull talk, though.
I can still remember a time when dragons were powerful. That was centuries ago, before they were subjugated to a stranger's will by the power of magic. Once they were brought under control, they were used by the 100 on battlefields. From that, very few of them survived.
Alright, so... I do like that they actually do flesh out the universe a bit by, you know, doing little bits of story like that. I'm also not sure if I mentioned it, but this is actually not the first game in this universe. King Art Games has released another game which takes place before this one, so it's a prequel, but not to this story directly. But it does take place in it, and I don't know. Maybe I'll go do that at some point, but I honestly have not even looked at that game. I just remember reading that. So there is more to this universe. It's an established universe, is what I'm trying to get across.
parchment and yellowing papers.